Hey folks, it is Saturday, September 25th, 7:25 p.m. is the time, and I'm here in Itaewon, Seoul, South Korea. And the temperature has cooled down quite a bit. It's only, I think, about 21 degrees Celsius. And this is a video I wanted to record last night. And I wanted to do it a bit later than this, as this is a known nightlife spot here in Seoul, but the weather gods weren't cooperating. It was raining quite heavily all night. So I decided to come here tonight, but I don't have the luxury of being able to do this later, so we're getting a little earlier start than usual, or than I would have liked. And this is basically the foreigner enclave, or at least it used to be. It's one of the most popular neighborhoods in Seoul, and it's known for its nightlife and a lot of trendy restaurants and spots. And what I'll do is I'll walk along the street in this direction for a bit, and then we'll come back to the spot through that alley. I've not been here since about 2013. I did not come here on my two previous trips. This is exit 2 of Itaewon Station. People peddling religion. So this would be kind of the main intersection. And where that says off the record, I remember that used to be a very different bar. It was more like an Irish pub. So much has changed. On the right is the Hamilton Hotel. That's a well-known staple of Itaewon. Most people's first experience would be climbing out of one of these or subway station exits. And so much has changed. There used to be a pub over there called Seoul Pub. And there was a nightclub, I think, where that Coffee Smith Spoonery sign is. Seoul Pub was kind of like the bar on Star Wars, you know, the one I'm talking about. Or in Star Wars. But I've heard it's looking more and more like every other neighborhood in Seoul these days, and that seems to be the case. And you might know this neighborhood for the unfortunate events, many of which I think took place in that alley there just before Halloween in 2022. There's really no need to elaborate on it any further other than say it was absolutely tragic. I think about 150 people lost their lives. This has always been the land of kebabs. There was a Canadian pub off in the other direction. I don't know if I'm going to cover that stretch, called the Rocky Mountain Tavern, that operated back in the day. It was known for its wings. I remember a pub called Stompers, another one called Polly's Kettle that was known for its soju kettles. So I'm gonna head up one of these alleys. There's also an area that was quite seedy at night. Perhaps we can wander through there and see if that is still the case. And I believe if I was to keep going straight here, that will take us over towards Noksapyeong Station. I remember a restaurant off in that direction called the All-American Diner, where we would sometimes go for breakfast. And although this is one of the big night spots, it wasn't really my jam. There was a bar here called Sam Ryan's, which I think is still here. We'll see if we can find it in a few minutes. We would frequent. I saw a few Super Bowls there. I was more of a Hongdae person, and I lived in Gangnam. But much of the character in these neighborhoods comes from these alleys here. There's a Mexican restaurant. Where Shenanigans is, I think at one point that was a Canadian spot operated by a dude called the Chili King. Korean restaurants up there. This is one of the alleys where a lot of the drinking happens. Kraft Hans. States American Diner and Bar. Almost nothing is the same. That was not here, the Itaewon pub. But the place upstairs from it is legendary. Sam Ryan's. Good to see they're still here. Spent many a night there. And they survived the pandemic, which a lot of places in Seoul did not. But this is way more cleaned up and less seedy feeling already. Dance too. Shisha. So this area boomed post-war. A big part of that was due to its proximity to the Yongsan U.S. Army base. Although these days I think there's only something like 5,500 people stationed there. Everyone else is over in Pyeongtaek, which is about 65 kilometers away, so it has become less foreigner and more Korean. But I think it's maintained that variety of foreign foods as we've seen. It's a nice looking Korean barbecue restaurant. Danko, Waikiki Paradise. I said we would come back to this alley. It looks like there's a little more to explore this way. And I've heard since the pandemic where this was one of the hotspot outbreaks, or it was an outbreak hotspot, however you want to put it. People have been shying away from this area. And then there was that unfortunate disaster a few years back. There's Thursday Party. There's one of those in Hongdae. And there's one in Gangnam as well. But we're gonna go see what was one of the seedier areas. That Rocky Mountain pub, which I mentioned, was straight ahead. I remember there being a bowling alley over there as well. I was debating if I should go straight up the hill and make a left. Let's make a left right away. I think I can navigate my way around. See a few of the old spots. Just make a left right here. King Pub. So you can go left here. And there's a place called the Grand Old Opry. And I think a lot of this has disappeared. Processed pizza. I remember these bars on the left. There was one called Debut Bar. Eve. This whole row is... There's Debut. Spent a few nights in there with my buddy. Oh my. And there's Old Town Seoul. That was a popular bar. And Friends, that's long gone. I think Stompers was just up here on the right. Grand Ole Opry's still there. It's dead, but it's early. I think just on the left here where this building is going up was Polly's Kettle. And there's a lot of really seedy bars, or at least there were. You might notice a certain type of bar up here. I couldn't tell you much about it other than I can read the signs too. All right, we are not too far from HBC, or Haebongchang. I think this is where like the LGBTQ community is kind of centered around in Seoul. Although I don't think this is the street. All right, we're gonna make a right here. Indonesian, Korean, Arabic. Go down the hill. There should be a bar club up here on the right called King Club. That might be behind me. Remember, it was one of my coworkers going away parties and she dragged us there. Oh. Bar nymph. Oh, this is it on the right. Still there, but nothing going on. Keep in mind it's only 7:44. But the dinner crowd is definitely out. That's the main street straight ahead. We can go left here. Lounge Bastard. My first full day in Seoul, I came here and got myself a cell phone. This would have been in 2007. And everything was pay as you go. At least if you were a foreigner. So you'd come here and buy a pay as you go phone. These alleys were loaded with used cell phone shops. And you'd buy a card with time on it, and the guy would load up your card. Here's a store that's a throwback to that era. It's a Kai bar. I remember there being the Sultan kebab around here. I thought it was right here. Oh, there it is. Still here. 2 slices of pizza and soda, 9,000. I think there's a bar called The Frog just down here on the right where I started playing darts competitively. Yeah, this area has changed significantly. Burger restaurant. All right, I need to get over to Itaewon and make a video, or not Itaewon, Hongdae and make a video. And then I need to go to Gangnam and meet some friends. So we're gonna wind our way back to the station. As you can see, a lot of the life is on those side streets and in the alleys. The Craig House. I remember going there. Might have been by a different name.
그러니까 그때 되게 늦게까지 있었잖아. 아, PC방 가서.
There's the Hamilton Hotel over there, but shockingly few U.S. military here. That was definitely not the case when I was here. You'd see a lot of sort of buzz-cutted, broad-shouldered, early 20-something, clearly American-looking GIs. Is there a cop? Oh well. I'm gonna have to load my transit card. You know what? I might not do Hongdae. I might just go to Gangnam and meet my friends. I'm gonna reach out and see where they are and what's up. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.